Hey guys, so and the Fair God shirt, just a huge hit here at the courthouse. I encourage anyone and everyone to, whenever you have jury duty, wear a Fair God shirt or something beautiful. I'm wearing it because, that's what the prophet said was the conclusion of the matter, is to fear God and follow his commandments, right? So I want to get in, I got like 10 minutes, so I wanted to get in the topic of Christians, completely staying away from the Halloween celebration. The big question is, I post the truth all the time, man, but I want to come in and just give a quick, lesson on it, because so many people, you have it so divided. Of course, it's the lukewarm against the sound doctrine. If you are a true heart for Christ, you will receive the truth, right? If you hear the truth and then you reject it, it puts you into lukewarmness, right? So, I just want to encourage you to receive the truth and not reject it. I left, good morning, Sister Peggy. May the Lord's grace and mercy be with you, sister. Again, I wanna just continue on my last video, and then I think I left off on looking up the roots. Look up the roots. Look up the origins of Halloween. It's very wicked, and us as Christians do not have any part in that type of stuff. Jesus said, abstain from any appearance of evil. That's what he instructed us. He said, walk circumspectly. So right there, two lessons. Walk circumspectly, not just saying, I don't care about where it originates from. I just do, I'm not doing all the satanic tradition, the pagan tradition. I'm doing, family stuff. It's for the kids, blah, blah, blah. Even the kids' part in this tradition of trick-or-treating is exactly the same as it was a thousand years ago. It may have even been like anywhere between 500 and 700 AD, something like that. I forget what year it started, but it was in Ireland, and they had these priests, and what they would do is they would actually leave things. It wasn't a pumpkin; it was something else. It was like some kind of plant that had a bulb, and what they would do is they would put candles in the bulbs. Well, whatever plant it was something to the nature of a tulip or something like that. They would. If you gave a sacrifice, an offering, and you had this bulb, you would give a sacrifice or an offering to the Druids, which were the priests in Ireland, and especially, man, it became real deceiving when they actually started adapting the Christian beliefs and the Catholic, beliefs. But what they would do is, when you would give your sacrifice or offerings to the priests, they would give you this tulip and they would light a little candle in it. The pumpkins didn't come until America. America found the pumpkin. They started growing the pumpkins in America, and it was much cheaper. They used some other vegetable before pumpkins. I forget what that was, and then they figured out pumpkins would be much cheaper, much bigger. You could make much more designs on it. That's where this comes from. But it all stems from the very original bulb that the Jewish priests would give when you would give them an offering. And they would give you this bulb, they'd light a candle in it, and they would say that keep this bulb lit as long as the entire night, and no demons will come play tricks on your house. They won't come hunt you. They won't come and do bad things like rape, kidnap, destroy the house, burn the house down. That's what it all originates from. So, it was when they started adapting the Catholic traditions, really bringing religion in, and when I say religion, I mean Catholicism, because Christ is not religion. But they started bringing in this Catholicism, which they deemed as Christianity, they began to merge it together, and that's how we have All Saints Day now. This Halloween was All Hallows Eve, which meant All Hallows, right? Hallows means holy, and so Hallows Eve, All Holy Saints Eve, they merged it together so that they could bring together a huge community of people, as it just panned out very good with Constantine, merging the government and again, religion. Christ isn't religion, but they merged government with Christianity, Catholicism, Again, let's get back to Halloween. It's man's traditions, it's pagan tradition, and the entire New Testament. All the disciples, all the apostles, they all said, you've spent enough time living as the Gentiles, living in the Gentile traditions, living in perverseness. It is time to be reborn, be born again, be transformed. That's what he said. He didn't say, don't let anybody judge you on your pagan traditions, you're fine, you're cool. No, people bring that verse up, right? Well, that verse really said was, don't let anybody judge you according to holy days. Now, the translations, what they do is they switch that word holy days into holidays or even festivals. They change that into that, and it doesn't mean the same thing. When he was talking about holy days, he was talking about holy days to the Lord. And you can't say, I'm going to make Halloween a holy day to the Lord. No, in the entire, you repin the born again shirt and y'all hat. Yeah, that's what I'm wearing today, the born again and fear God shirt, bro. Yeah, it's beautiful because everybody keeps looking at it. Man, I better get back though. Again, guys, he says be separate. You can't be continuing this. You have to look it up. He said walk circumspectly. Abstain from every appearance of evil. Every appearance of evil. Not just evil. Not if you can prove it. If it has an appearance of evil, stay clear from it. Abstain from it. What does abstain from sex mean? No sex. What does abstain from evil mean? No evil. Right? Well, again, the pumpkins, demons, witches, wizards, hats, vampires, all those dead bodies laying on everybody's, he said, don't have anything to do with the dead. Don't have anything to do with the dead. He said, don't have anything to do with their traditions either. So, again, you just have to ask for his courage and strength to overcome this, because when you are born again, you receive the power that Christ had when he resurrected from the dead. It's not some cliche filled with the Holy Spirit. No, you receive power. You receive power. And so, one part I wanted to hit on is right before I go in, I'm going to try to hit on it fast. You cannot speak against Halloween and be for all the other pagan traditions, all the other pagan holidays, because you're just a hypocrite. And that's something that the Lord said to make sure you don't fall into. Make sure to be aware of the leaven of the Pharisees. And that's not practicing what you preach. Well, you say, oh, well, Halloween, has very evident principles that go against all what Christ stood for. If Christ was here, he would not be dressing up as a mermaid or a vampire or a zombie. That's apparent, right? Well, yeah, but Thanksgiving, that's okay. It's a good day. We give thanks to the Lord on that day. We have a big celebration, just as the pagans did. And really, you're not looking into the roots of it. You're not looking into who created it, who started that day. All the pagan holidays were started by Freemasons. All of them, especially Thanksgiving Day, which is coming up. It's just as bad or even worse. I would say it's even worse than Halloween. It's a dinner giving thanks that they were victorious and giving thanks for the genocide of 100 million native people that lived here on this country. That's what it truly is. You have to look into it. It's not the dinner that they say. It's not that dinner that they say, oh, the Pilgrims and the Indians came together. No, it's the day of mourning. Look it up. For Native Americans, that day is called the day of mourning because they're mourning of everything they lost, their children, their spouses, all the rape, all the murder, all the genocide that happened. It's not good. You have to look into things. You got to walk circumspectly or you're going to perish for sure. All right, guys, I love you. God bless. Don't, fall in. Don't be leavened with that leaven of the Pharisees, guys. It's crucial. You got to give it all up or don't speak about any of them until you give it up. All right, guys, I love you. God bless.